Settle in, girls. It's story time. It is the future. It is now. Life is good. How do we start talking about this? If you know me to my fullest capacity, then you know I am a net positive person. I am a person who has big dreams, and I'm not going to let anyone try to take those away from me. My inhibitions, I'm shoving those out of the way to achieve those things. I am wishing for the best. I'm going to stand by you and root for you day in and day out. Even as you're giving up on yourself, I am going to be that person to push you and keep being like, keep going. Yet, if you also know me, you will also know that I am a very rational person, that I really do have the logic behind all of my reasoning. Now, how can it exist that a person can be so rational, yet so whimsical and so free and so wishful? That is the complexity of being a human being. And isn't that so exciting? Today, I am here to talk about whimsy and how fear hates to see whimsy coming. And good. Disclaimer, there are levels to this ish, okay? We cannot use a whole big umbrella for one specific concept. We really have to dig deep, and a lot of this is based off of personal experience. I just wanted to provide my specific perspective to the world. Take it or leave it, honestly. First, let's define whimsy. Pulling up my handy dandy laptop. To have whimsy, per the Oxford Language Dictionary. Whimsy, playful, quaint, or fanciful behavior or humor. A thing that is fanciful or odd. Emphasis on that. To be whimsical, it means to be playfully quaint or fanciful, especially in an appearing and amusing way. Number 2, listen to this. Acting or behaving in a capricious manner. That capricious, the Oxford Languages says, given to sudden or unaccountable changes of mood or behavior. When I was reflecting on my life for this video, I really was in a space where I was like, okay, when I'm posting this, it's April. I had started thinking about the concept of whimsy in February. I currently do this thing on Instagram where every single month I post a magazine. If you are currently watching this video when it came out, you may see that I only have 2 magazines available, but I have several more coming in the future. Each magazine is supposed to represent a month, and each month I have a theme. My theme for February was whimsy. So whimsy, really big thing. It's a trendy, buzzy word right now that's, oh my gosh, I've not been looking at the camera. I'm getting back into YouTube, everyone. Please, thank you for your patience. It's a buzzword, okay? Everyone's talking about being more whimsical, be more free, you know, the whole concept of nerding out, just really fully expressing yourself in a fun, fanciful manner. I also see in the same vein, the world is not doing well right now. Can we say it has been? Since any of us were born, has the world been doing well? We are just able to acknowledge it more. We see it more. It comes up on our feed. A lot of our feeds are not even our choice. It's just we scroll and we see what happens and then we have to consume it. And so there's a lot of negativity, okay? So we got fanciful and the negativity at the same time. How do we navigate a world that is asking both from us almost simultaneously? That was something that I was thinking about through all of February, especially when I was just trying to bring out the little joys in my life and really reflect on it. I really realized when it comes to foundations in life, it's like, to have a happy life is to experience the dream. To have the most is to like be happy. And like happiness seems like the epitome of like what we're all trying to reach. And then in a consumeristic society, happiness comes a lot from consumption, or like you're fed to believe that the more that you can consume, the more that you have, like more equals that happiness, because that works for businesses. If that's the goal, if everyone's goal is something, they're going to try to sell that to you so you feel like you've achieved that something. All that to say, let's get into our first point. Radical optimism. Radical optimism is an album by Dua Lipa. It is also a concept. Let me share my approach to radical optimism. However the world feels, don't deny yourself of your emotional capacity. You don't know to what extent your grandeur or your loss can affect someone. A few things here. I believe that to be truly optimistic, you have to be able to explore all of your emotional capacity. This is where we put in the disclaimers. There are emotions and behaviors and certain things that we medically treat. This is one conversation. This conversation that I'm having might be a slightly different one, where we're not necessarily engaging with the extremes that may need to be medically provided for. There's some trends online where numbness is in. It's the have a straight face, nothing bothers you, you block it out, and you emotionally detach from situations. And there are a lot of situations where, you know, that's good. Environments where you don't need to put your emotion into it. If you're in line and somebody accidentally like bumps into you because they have a really big bag and like they're depth perception is just like a little bit off, do we start fist fighting? The answer is no. We don't start getting angry, especially because it was like a genuine mistake. However, there are times where we block out a lot of emotions that if we were to process them fully, we would be able to start living in the fullness of ourselves. I've been really just thinking about the fullness of you. There's a jazz song that's called The Nearness of You that was really inspiring to this concept. Just living in the fullness of who you are, what your desires are, and fully living in each and every single one of your emotions to the capacity that you can. Okay, so then how does one live in the fullness of themselves? It's really being reflective. And there are so many distractions going on in the world to prevent us from actually sitting down and reflecting. We've got the constant scroll, we've got the news, we've got our jobs, we've got our hobbies, we've got our aspirations, we've got our goals, we've got our relationships, we've got all the self-improvement that we want to do, and then all the sitting down and just staring at the wall that we want to do too. And it's like, where do we have time to think for ourselves and like release it and process? That's where I'm inviting us to kind of like open that door. Maybe that means turning off your phone before you go to bed and sleeping with your phone off, which might be a scary thing for some people, but like it can be a game changer to not actually have your phone on while you're sleeping. Just like think you're actually just tuning out that part of the world, and then you don't have to listen to it until you wake up again. Or when you first wake up, you're not looking at your phone, you're not scrolling. You could wait another 5 minutes to see what happened. Unless like an alarm woke you up, you don't need to be touching your phone. It really is just allowing yourself to just like have space to literally just be. We're in an environment where like being is like almost frowned upon. It's always the go. And then if you're not doing that go, and if you're just sitting, you still have to be doing something. That's why a lot of people journal, because it's super reflective, allows you to process your thoughts, and it just kind of like literally slows yourself down to a writing pace. For example, I've been talking really fast in this video. I'm so excited to be talking. I'm so excited to be on YouTube again. I haven't posted a video since I think like January or December, and it's been several months after that. And so I'm over here and I'm in this go. But when I really slow down and I really think about it, I'm like, am I also just a little nervous? Am I genuinely just wanting to talk faster so that people don't put my video on 2 times speed? Like genuinely, I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about that right now. Am I doing this on purpose? Because I don't think I talk this fast. And yes, I do have a lot to say. And yeah, I kind of wrote down my thoughts, but genuinely, why am I talking so fast? And if I'm really being honest and I start to slow down and I really am like here with myself and I'm like, this is actually how I want to be speaking. Maybe there was someone else who felt the need that they have to be speaking incredibly fast in their videos, that they aren't posting online because they think that the way that they approach posting does not fit whatever algorithm. But maybe me slowing down and being like, oh, I can talk to you as I am, and those who will find me will find me. Maybe this is connecting with someone. And now it's like, okay, am I emotionally attached to this? Do I feel any better? I feel a little bit better. I just feel a little bit more connected to what I'm doing, and I feel like I can take a little bit more of my time and I can just like exist in this version of me that, yes, was once talking at the speed of light 20 seconds ago and is now slowing things down a little bit. But it's also like, I don't know what door I opened up for myself or for someone else by just taking that moment to just like pause and just be. And you just watched that live. I don't know if I would have been able to do that if I wasn't journaling every single day like I have. And when I say every single day, but it's been more days than not. Everything's a process, an ebb and a flow. Things change and they go. Optimism isn't pure, unwavering happiness, but it's that the fullness of you can net a positive outcome as long as you believe in your full expression and worthiness of expression, not just hopping on a vibe trend. There's also a level of worthiness when it comes to emotional expression. At your core, as a child on the playground, you were allowed to be free. The world was limitless. You could create a million possibilities, and life was expansive and life was endless. And that was something that we were so excited for. Now that's kind of something that feels like a little bit scary. There's a natural tie between our worth and how we express ourselves. If we express ourselves fully and we are received positively, that kind of helps us feel a little bit more worthy and connected. Let's say we're expressing ourselves fully and people hate on it. You suck, boo, you're terrible. I hate that you're doing whatever. like that's gonna make you feel some type of way. Because of that, and because our worth is so tied to our expression, again, everyone's a little bit different, sometimes we want to just hold that back and be a little less expressive and be a little less whimsical and share a little bit less of ourselves so that we don't allow ourselves to fully get hurt when we're given the opportunity to just be free. It's a really interesting concept to think that we reduce our freedoms to feel safe. I get it. It's a safety mechanism. It's a way to allow ourselves to not fully get hurt, but it's also inhibiting and it's also blocking us, and it's also allowing fear to take over something that is supposed to be limitless, expansive. We get used to it. And then that safety, even though it might feel like a cage, we'd rather be in that cage of safety than go out into the world. And there's a lot of ways that people can hurt people. So sometimes the easiest thing to do is to prevent any possibility of being hurt by just completely shutting off your emotions and completely detaching from the situation and not allowing yourself to fully experience all the possibility that a situation can have just to protect yourself. I'm talking from experience. I've been doing that for years, and it's one of those things is like when you are creative and when you are a person who is trying to fill yourself with expression and then share it with the world, like as an actress as well, as a singer, as a creator, as a writer, as a dancer, as every single part of your being. Like we are all creative beings at the end of the day, and in order to be creative we have to express and we have to share and we have to learn. And I guess you never have to do anything, but when you do it, there's a certain freedom that comes to it. And I don't want to be a person to deny myself that. There is some whimsy in allowing yourself to look a little odd, to look a little weird at the end of the day. Fun in a box. The concept that fun can only exist within a box, like a structure, limited, fully understood with only preconceived notions or ideas of surprise. This comes from being an adult and being fully grown to some degree. It comes from the concept that our fun has to be tangible and like very limited in terms of expression. When we see fun, we see it a certain way, and then we define things as, oh, that's fun, and then, oh, that's not fun. And then the little bit of in between where, that was okay. These are kind of the bounds to which we set fun, and therefore when we see other people experience fun, we kind of put them in those little boxes as well. So when we have fun in a box, yes, you're having a great time because you've described it as such, but then when fun shows itself to you in a different light, you may have some hesitancy toward it, or it may become odd, one may say, a little whimsical. So what does fun outside of the box look like? As a child, someone would be like, hey, do you want to try this new random thing? Sure, let's do it. We had a little less fear associated with new things, which could lead to fun. As an adult now, as we've experienced more things, as we're a little bit wiser, as we have a little bit more knowledge, we may use that as a stepping stone for whether we want to approach a situation or not. We may be like, hey, this new random concert from this new artist that you've never heard about, do you want to go? And then it's like, I wouldn't want to go because I don't know the lyrics, and then usually I have more fun when I know the lyrics. Again, talking off of experience, I don't even know if I'm gonna like the band. Like, I've never really listened to their stuff before. I don't think this is gonna be fun. Now, where did we start drawing that line and put a box around fun? Because of what we knew before, we were like, oh, that's fun. But when we are experiencing whimsy, when we are allowing ourselves to fully just explore potential, we start to unlock that box. That being said, are you willing to go into a situation that you've truly never experienced anything about, that you've not seen the Yelp review, that you've not seen anything on Letterboxd for, that people aren't telling you what's going to happen and you're not seeing spoilers? And are you going to approach that with fun? Are you going to approach that with an honest, open mindset to being like, I'm here to experience this and experience it fully and express myself fully? I think once we start to do that, there's a lot of potential for whimsy. But until then, we continue to allow ourselves to only have fun in the small sandbox to which we defined our fun. I said, now why are we trying to contain fun? It's because that's what we do with everything, including fear. Fear wins when we allow it to reign free in hopes of trying to contain everything else. Oop, so your happiness, if you try to keep it contained, are you doing that out of fear? And then it's like, you're right, what are we talking about? I thought this was supposed to be about whimsy. Yeah, whimsy is really the true embodiment of emotionally feeling yourself in a fanciful way and allowing for the oddities of that to be okay. Another example, fun in a box. So sometimes you see friends groups on the side of the street and they're like laughing their butts off. They're having the greatest time on the planet and you're like, that should be me. Honestly, Why isn't it you? Why do we feel like, oh, that type of fun is something that we can't have? That type of fun only exists outside of our little box that we've drawn. But why did we draw that box? And why do we continue to allow ourselves to only live inside this box? And then we see other experiences and we're like, that's not possible for me. Who said it's not possible? If it's you who says, that's not possible for me, where do we go from there? We continue to stay in that realm of limited possibilities. Closing thoughts are on the multiplicity of whimsy. The multiplicity of whimsy is in whimsy alone. It does not ask to fill your lack. It does ask for a shift in focus in what you do have and how you can live in it fully. So at the end of the day, everything is all about perspective. You decide what you give and you decide what you take and how you define it. And when it comes to whimsy, whatever is whimsical and fanciful and odd to you is going to look completely different to someone else. And yes, we have our standard dictionary cut out. Everything's about perception at the end of the day. Something that looks whimsical and fanciful to you may look completely odd to someone else, but you know what? It's still the same. When I'm looking at whimsy, not everything is going to be fully positive and fully humorous and fully happy. We are people that contain multitudes and we have layers to ourselves, and that's beautiful and it's incredible and it's amazing and it's super exciting, but it can be a little bit daunting, because that's a lot. It's a lot to deal with and it's a lot to express yourself and to live in yourself fully. But at the end of the day, I think once we start to unlock that and peel it back and start to take a step away from the numbness to the degree that you can do so and to live in the fullness of who you are, is when we really start to have a great whimsical time. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Just a little think piece. If you have any thoughts, questions, experiences, life, anything, you can put it in the comments below. I just wanted this to be a little opportunity for you and I to sit and have a little chat. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day because you are a beautiful person. Bye.